Hey, this is Dark Avenue, and remember, every legend was once a prospect.
Oh my God! Oh! Shut it down! Let's go
What is up, guys? What is up? This is DDP here in the house. Here to talk a little bit of Mavs Rockets. We got a really interesting game here tonight. Hey, Law, says Diego. Don't think that you're on the right stream, buddy. Oh, man. Let's see here. So, it's interesting. I see it on the view here. I don't see it in my actual chat. There it is. Huh, so it's actually faster pulling here. What up, Diego? But yes, so tonight we have Mavericks, Rockets, and we got some interesting stuff to talk about here. This is going to be just kind of a short stream here, just kind of to the point. We're going to talk a little bit about the game, preview it, talk about the Mavericks momentum, whether or not that they can continue to build on said momentum. I'm trying to get a confirmation here on exactly when this game tips off here. Let's see. Game tips off at, ooh, look at that, 7 o'clock. Mavericks at Rockets. Very nice, very nice. You're good, Diego. It's all good, fam. I assume you got here because you're subscribed to the channel anyway, so I don't care. Let's see. If we win and Spurs lose, we get the 8th seed. That is true. That is true. Mavericks currently, as odd as it is, at least as of the Boston game, Dallas was like a half game out from the 8th seed, and in the division they were ahead of both the Rockets and the Spurs. But now I think the Spurs have played since then, so yes, as you said, if we win, Spurs lose, Dallas is in the 8th seed, which is really incredible when you think about it, considering how far away this team was just, what, 2-3 weeks ago? I mean, first 9 games, 2-7, last 9 games, 7-2. They're on a hot streak for sure, and they're being carried largely by the bench. Obviously, Luka Doncic is having himself a great season as well, although in the last 6 games, his production has dropped off a little bit. I think he's shooting something like 37.5% from the field. Three-point percentage has still been pretty strong, but his numbers have dipped a little bit, but the team is still winning, I think, largely because of this bench. And this bench is extremely productive. Lots of guys. Again, if you follow plus minus, lots of these guys, positive net ratings from the bench. So it'll be interesting to see how long they can kind of keep this momentum going, and if they can get some of their starters producing better. Now, an interesting stat here, I was discussing this yesterday with Max, actually, Rangers King. We were talking about specifically Dennis Smith Jr. and kind of his role within this offense, because there's no doubt what is being asked of him has changed in the last few weeks, excuse me. And as a result of that, I think you're seeing a little bit of not a plateauing by any means. I don't think that he's at his ceiling, but I do think that he has certainly had, because his role is reduced and his minutes have reduced as he's played through some of these injuries. I think you've also seen a kind of drop off in his overall productivity. Now, right now, you could argue that in smaller doses he works better, but I still have high hopes for him all the same. So here's a stat here from that Ringer article that was going around the other day. It's called "The Mavericks Are Winning, but for how much longer?" Now, this is a little snippet here from Jonathan Tajark's article. It says Luka Doncic has a net rating of minus 5.5 points in 405 minutes with Smith, and a plus 10.3 in 202 minutes without him. So in his limited action through 18 games without Smith, Luka has actually been better for the Mavericks. Now, I think, again, I feel like that's a little misleading because neither Doncic nor Smith are, defensive stalwarts by any means. They are both kind of sieves in that regard. Defenses or opposing players can get past them. So when both are on the floor together, I feel like you have more liability created in that way. But all the same, it's it's something where they're going to have to figure out how to adjust that. Kid OSU, I respect the sentiment, but no, please no F-bombs on the chat. But yes, so it's one of those things where they're going to have to figure out how to get Smith involved in this offense more, how to get him going. And there have been a lot of spirited debates lately about how high is his ceiling, how far can he go. I just realized I have the event page up on the stream here. So let me awkwardly transition now into plugging the Mexi-Go events thing here. It's kind of tiny. Let me blow it up a little bit. Just since I realized I accidentally had it open anyway. Might as well. Let's see here. It's not really blowing up, is it? Wait. Man, this thing is slow. Yeah, so we're going to be... No, don't bring up the... No. Come on, Facebook. Come on, son. You are ruining the aesthetic of my show. All right, then. Well, while that lags behind and tries to catch up, allow me to somewhat awkwardly try and transition that here. Let's see. Hi, the stream is not good. Cool, man. Thanks. Now a personal message, really. Wow. Well, this design aesthetic is going to be thrown out for future references. So we got an event here in Allen, Texas, Wednesday, December 12th at Mexi-Go restaurant in Allen. Check it out. We're going to be doing what we can to basically host a Mavericks watch party. I'm just going to close these tabs. I feel like it's dragging down the stream. Stain, are you just talking smack on the stream in general, or is it a visual aesthetic where the stream is lagging? Because it seems now like it might be lagging, in which case I withdraw my initial sarcasm. Let me throw this up here. All right, so now we got that image back at least. Yeah, it's lagging, son of a... All right, one sec while I try and fix this, guys. Yeah. Lagging bad right now. Audio is great. Yeah, thanks, Max. Let me see. I think the browser thing was what was killing it. So I fixed it. I'm going to close out one more thing. Man, I have got to upgrade my internet if this is going to be the case. Stream is lagging, says Brandon. All right, thanks, man. Working on it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's lagging on me. Let me know when my face stops slow-moing and lagging. But we're going to be having an event at Mexi-Go restaurant in Allen, Texas. It's going to be a Mavericks watch party, in which case we're going to be hosting the event in Allen at Mexi-Go, and we're going to do a pregame stream beforehand previewing the Mavericks hosting the Atlanta Hawks. It's going to be Doncic v. Young 2. This is a big event for the channel and everything, obviously. What we really want to accomplish with this is ultimately we want to be able to do these kind of events more often. And I think one thing that will go a long way in helping that happen is if we all turn out, obviously. Like this is something where we haven't done this for the Mavericks before. I've done a couple small streams or contributed to other streams going on for the Cowboys. Wow, I can see the lag on my own face here. Oh man, I think my internet's just that trash. I might have to go pure podcast here and just shut off the camera. All right, let me try that. Let me try. All right, camera's off. I should be invisible now, but now, hey, no lag. Audio's good. So we're going to do a pregame show that day beforehand, and we're going to essentially talk about everything you can expect in the matchup. We're going to have guests on hand as well. Might have a guest appearance from the Sports Fury hanging out as well. I know Max has said he's going to be in the house, Rangers King. If you guys are in the area and can come out, please do. basically we're going to have myself and my Mavs Fast Break co-host Eni and Duca out, and we're going to do basically we're going to commentate the entire game. We're going to live stream the Mavs Hawks, and we're going to give you all of the commentary, trash talk, and all that, basically that you can handle throughout it. If you guys come out, you can jump on the stream, hang out with us for a bit, and we'll have some merch and stuff like that as well. If we have a good turnout and all this, they'll invite us back, and we'll be able to, parlay that into different venues potentially down the road as well. But for now, we gotta start, somewhere with this. So we're coming out for this one because this is a venue who expressed interest in having us come out. So of course, it's something I ultimately would like to do. I'd like to do these live streams where we commentate and talk on the Mavericks and all that. So if we do that, perfect. And if that works out, great. But if it doesn't have a big turnout, we're just gonna have to roll with it, Like if it's not a big turnout, then we'll go through that stream, but it's probably gonna be a one-off event. So enough digressing, talking about the event. The link, I will just say this, the link is in the description below. If you guys are able to come out, please RSVP. Give us an indication, a head count, if you will, for what we can expect there that night. I want to be able to put as much good faith out as I can for this potential sponsor, effectively having us come out. Basically be able to show them, hey, our guys come out, our fans and everything come out and support what we're trying to do, so it'll help us build it out in the future. But let's talk some interesting stats here. Heading into this game, I saw this on, I think it was Instagram earlier this week from Mavs Center, Mavs.Center on Instagram. Basically, it's a comparison thus far through this season comparing Luka Doncic against Donovan Mitchell. And you wouldn't really think, as good as Luka has been, you might not have expected these numbers. But essentially, Luka's played 34 minutes a game compared to 33 for Donovan. 19.1 points compared to 20.6. Okay, surprised it's that close, I suppose. Rebounds, Luka 6.6 to 2.6. Assists, Luka 4.3 to 3.7. Steals, Luka 1 to 1.6 for Donovan. Field goal percentage, 45% for Luka, 42% for Mitchell. 3-point percentage, 40% for Luka, only 29% for Donovan Mitchell. And free throws, 78% Luka, 80% Mitchell. Now, be honest, how many of you guys would have, without looking that up, have known that Luka Doncic in most of those categories is besting the rookie phenom from last year, should have been rookie of the year, and Donovan Mitchell? Because I love this team. I follow the Mavericks pretty closely. No chance in hell would I have known that offhand. Like, next to zero chance. I might have given Luka one or two of those categories, but the Jazz and Mitchell as an individual have largely struggled this year. And as a result of that, they find themselves, I think, tied for the second worst record in the Western Conference currently. I mean, maybe we should have taken it as a little bit more of a sign. Taken it as a little bit more of a sign when the Mavericks beat them by 50. Obviously, it was a phenomenal defensive effort, but man, oh man, you cannot deny the Jazz team has not been anything like what people expected it to be this year. I don't know if I would have put them as a 2 or 3 seed, but I certainly had them at least as a 4 seed. So interesting how that all developed. And, like I said, the Mavericks, because they are one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, they find themselves heading into Houston, the 9-10 Rockets, who have also... Wait, you guys can still see me? Kent? I don't know how, unless you're at a farther back part in the stream. But anyway, the Mavericks are essentially competing for a chance to get now into the 8th seed for the Western Conference playoff picture. And the Rockets have, as we predicted through the offseason, the losses of Trevor Ariza and Ba Mute have hurt this team deeply. And yeah, they already moved on from the Carmelo experiment, although he's still on the roster, I believe, just not playing, and maybe not even around the team in general. But it's still one of those things where they're defensively so deficient now, it just isn't the same. Like, they are not the team that they were previously. And that's a team that should have been probably in the finals last year, were it not for a Chris Paul, I think it was groin injury, hamstring injury, something like that. It was a Chris Paul injury late in that playoff Western Conference Finals series. So this team pretty much goes as James Harden goes, it seems like. James Harden, let me see here. I want to pull up some of Harden's stats, although I want to do it on my phone because I don't trust the internet not to lag the second I do anything else. So while I pull up James Harden's current stats here, I want to basically go through the Rockets go as James Harden goes this season. Yes, they still have Chris Paul playing well, but James Harden's averaging 31.5 points per game this season, leading the league in scoring. Field goal percentage just a hair under 44%, along with 5 boards and 8 assists. He is still very much a force to be reckoned with. You know, he's the reigning MVP for a reason. Even though defensively they can't stop a runny nose, let alone players like Luka Doncic. I say players as if there's multiple players like Luka Doncic. A player like Luka Doncic. But they can still do plenty to try and outscore you. So if the Mavericks defense really has come as far as it sounds, that's encouraging because they're going to need it in a matchup like this. Also worth noting, I think Dennis Smith is still questionable for this game. Luka, I think, is listed as questionable, but I expect him to play. I know Luka was dealing with like an illness or something in the last day or so, but I haven't heard any word to the contrary that Luka is going to play in this game. So for that reason alone, I have to think that Dallas will be pretty close to full health, at least with regard to what they've been so far. So here's Eddie Sefko from 7 minutes ago. Houston has no Chris Paul or Gerald Green. So that immediately changes the scope of this matchup here. Now it really is James Harden's going to run everything, and that's your main threat. Trying to see if there are any updates on the Mavericks inactives here. I don't see anything of significance really. But yeah, interesting to see how this matchup goes. Dallas has a real chance. Even though they haven't had a lot of success on the road this year, this is a real opportunity for them to, one, just continue their momentum, but two, get, for whatever it's worth, a division win, which is not something that they've enjoyed much of when you're playing with the likes of Memphis, San Antonio, Houston, and New Orleans is also still in their division. So yeah, it's a tough ask in that regard. Let's see here. Yeah, this, I'm trying to pull up another graphic I had here. I'm like afraid to like touch the computer because as soon as I do, the computing power deviates away from just streaming it and goes to lockup or whatever. So hit me with some questions, guys. Barry Grogan, awesome for Luka. Oh yeah, the comparison with Mitchell. Yeah. But yes, guys, hit me with some questions here. Let me see. I'm going to make a quick update on this graphic, actually. I want to pull up... Uh-oh. I clicked something. Now the computer's going to have to think about it. That's fine. Visually, I should not be on the screen. It's just my voice, which you guys made it sound like hasn't lagged or really dropped out yet. So, let's see. Pull up the event thumbnail for you guys. Let you see the graphic I've put together so far. Man, your messages are coming across faster on my stream than they are directly onto this player here. Hey, here's some breaking NBA news. Cleveland Cavaliers trade Kyle Korver to the Utah Jazz in exchange for 2 second-round picks. Interesting. I would not have assumed that Korver would still be worth 2 picks, but a second-round pick's not very much. So Korver to the Jazz. There you go. So Utah making a reactionary move to their struggles early on. I'm sure Korver likes the potential of the team he's on. Certainly a lot more talent now, but definitely not on a team that has fared well early on in the season. Let's see here. Well, there we go. Found the thumbnail. There you go. There's the event thumbnail I put together for the stream from Mexi-Go. We're going to promote this thing like it's a big fight feel, because honestly, that is what it feels like. These guys will be forever intertwined together as far as the perception league-wide, because, hey, not only did 2 teams pass on Luka, really 3 teams, but you also then factor in these guys were directly traded for one another on draft night. Their careers, no matter what, will be forever intertwined. Everything will be compared head-to-head. And so far, early returns works out in Luka's favor. I know Trae Young had his interview with Sports Illustrated the other day, in which he basically said, he basically had a perfect answer and then ruined it by continuing to talk. Effectively, he said, I don't know why it can't work out for both situations. Luka's a great player, yada, yada, yada. But it's like, okay, I don't know why it can't work out for both situations. Good answer. Stop talking. Then without further prodding, he just kept talking and then goes into the whole, but I think I'm going to be better. Ruben, what up? Love the show. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. He goes on further and he says, I think I'm going to be better because of my ability to stretch the floor and make plays. Well, you are averaging more assists than Luka. True. No doubt there. By a pretty comfortable margin, you're averaging more assists than Luka. You're also a point guard who always has the ball in his hands, as opposed to Luka, who's sharing touches, but, whatever. Point Luka. I would argue if we had point Luka the whole season, Luka would be just right about on par with you in the assist category. I can also tell you this. Yeah, you can hit threes from the logo, the mid-court logo. That's cool, bro. Last I checked, you were still shooting like 30% on the year from range. Luka's shooting 40%. Luka's killing you on points scored as well, and he's doing it in a much more efficient manner. So, if we want to cast stones, maybe don't live in a glass house first. Like how I kind of reverse engineered that phrase. Top-notch commentary. I don't know, this feels like a moment for a drop. And that lags too. Phenomenal.
Oh, Dennis! Don't do it to him!
Oh, I will be on the phone with my internet service provider very soon. Anyway, well, guys, hit me with some questions if you got questions for this game here. I've got a few more minutes that I can talk for this, especially with the technical issues. I don't want to get too much into it. Barry Grogan is saying Dwight Powell is back tonight. That's good news. Dwight Powell's missed a little time. Very encouraging to see that he will, in fact, be back. Let's see here. I don't see anything else. Here's Mike D'Antoni talking about Luka Doncic. It's amazing. If you're really good, the transition is pretty easy. Don't forget Mike D'Antoni spent a fair amount of time in Europe, says Eddie Sefko. Basically, he's just talking about Luka Doncic and his transition and how it's been so smooth for him. Can't catch him. I'm a realist. They probably lose the next 2 games. Growing pains and all, as long as we show out and try hard, I'm good. Nah, I got Mavericks winning tonight, fam. I mean, they will inevitably run into some struggles, but Mavericks are going to win tonight. Yeah, let's see. Well, that's true. Yeah, as I said before, guys, check out the event. If you can make it out, it would mean a lot if you guys could come out and support the watch party. I know that I've been fighting with some of these technical things behind the scenes, I've been a little scatterbrained in this show. Not the front I like to put forth, obviously, with these and as far as the quality of these streams. But wanted to just reiterate this watch party is a huge thing. You know, we're trying to build this community here. And if this works out, we can make this a monthly thing. If we have good turnout, we can do this monthly where we have this event somewhere in the DFW area, bring everyone out. You guys can hop on the broadcast with us, and we can basically talk Mavericks and highlight all of the good that we have to look forward to regarding the Mavericks, regarding the channel, everything. So, and hey, if you guys like what Innie and myself do, you get a chance to hang out with us for the evening as well. Just a good time. So I've done a couple of these before on the Cowboys front, and I've done one where I was a co-host and another where I was just kind of like helping out. But this is an opportunity, first opportunity to do one of these for the Mavs. And I feel like, you know, I love Cowboys, but the Mavericks and basketball in general is my core true love in that regard. So while I can talk Cowboys all day, it's just not the same as my love of basketball and Mavericks basketball specifically. So would love to do one of these, you know, every so often. And even when we're not doing a live event, maybe I still do a watch party stream in a sense where I'm still doing the live stream and commentating throughout the game. That's something, if you guys want as well, I can try to work those in from time to time. I keep forgetting I turned the camera off, and I'm trying to make direct eye contact with you, only to realize you can't see me, because apparently I'm John Cena suddenly, and now I'm just kind of staring awkwardly into space at a camera that's not turned on. So there's that. But, oh, hey, Bobby R. Do you see next season DeMarcus Cousins replacing DeAndre Jordan? There's potential. I want to see how Cousins comes back from his Achilles injury. That's a really tough injury to come back from. I don't doubt that, obviously, the Warriors can probably win another title even with him, even if he's only at, 30, 40, even 50%. I should have gone reverse order of that. But the Warriors are equipped that they can probably win with him, although their infighting is creating a lot of drama in that locker room. It's a potential move for sure. It does feel like a long shot at the same time. I would say if they are going to move on from DeAndre, I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on him. But I think at this point, Cousins would want a long-term deal, not another 1-year deal or even a 2-year deal. So it's a risk depending on what you see from him by season's end. And we know defensively what Dallas needs of its centers. DeAndre, in large part, hasn't even been able to fill that role. So I have a hard time thinking Cousins, coming off an Achilles injury, will be able to fill it a whole lot better. But he would certainly give them, offensively, unquestionably, the best center play they've ever had. Luka's always going to get more rebounds than Trae, too. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, hey, again, if you want to look at like plus-minus stuff as far as Trae versus Luka and everything like that, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know defensively Trae Young rates as the worst defender in the league. Like out of 432 players or something like that, he's like 432. Luka, to his credit, I say credit, it's still not a great rating, but he's at least in the 100-somethings, like low 100-somethings. So there's no doubt in that regard. He is absolutely... Luka has shown out and proven himself to be legitimate. He is running away early on in this season with Rookie of the Year, but it's a long season. We're not even a fourth of the way into it yet, so can't get too much ahead of ourselves. But I do think that this is a really good setup. Miliano, first time watching live. Well, dang it. Let's see here. I'm back. And as soon as I do that, I see lag. Yeah, I don't know what's causing the lag, but I'll try to work around it. I did fix the actual confining box of the webcam now. I can actually stretch out to the actual edges of the screen. Probably lagging now. Instead of being confined in a 4:3 ratio box like I was caught before. So now in the future, when I do Mavs Fast Break with Innie, we'll set up and we can actually set up not huddled together for warmth essentially in front of the camera, but on each side of the screen. And whenever we do that, I'll probably just have to hide the comments on the screen right here, hide those and put them elsewhere. But we'll be good. I did like Brad Stevens saying giving Luka all the love the other night. Awesome. Yeah, Luka's earning love from everyone across the league, honestly, this year. Anyone who sees him for the first time is, blown away by it. Barry Grogan will be in the house. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys come out, bring some friends. Hell, even if it's someone who you're just interested in showing the channel and the kind of stuff we're doing, bring them out. Tweet about it, post about it, whatever. We need to grow this thing. Like, we are growing well right now. We're 1,564 subs last I saw. And by the way, anyone who's watching now that hasn't already hit subscribe, hit subscribe. You'll see a little gift on the screen. Tweet about it. I don't know what our Twitter following is, but we try to live tweet games and offer additional announcements, updates there. I'm now looking where the camera used to be and not where I moved it earlier. We put updates there as well. Instagram, Facebook. Facebook page is actually blowing up lately. It's actually Facebook, like a week ago, I think the Facebook page was like 1,300 likes, and now it's actually like 100 likes more than the YouTube channel. It's like 1,650 something, so close to 100. I don't know what caused that to happen. I do make a lot of custom graphics and little quotable, shareable things related to the Cowboys and Mavericks, so I guess those have been blowing up. But yeah, like us on other social media platforms as well. Above all, we just want to grow this community and this channel, because the more we grow, the more content we can put out there, right? Like, we're in that difficult spot right now as a small channel, trying to take that next step and be able to put out better content. And I have a million ideas and things that I'm actively working on. Time is the enemy, however, and it's just one of those things where, if you want to... All right. That was really weird. I don't know what caused that, but I literally talked for another... Hush, little me on the screen. I literally talked for another 5 minutes after where the stream cut out. It apparently didn't convey any of that, because when I stopped recording it here, I assumed, oh, it's got a backlog of this and it's just rolling out way slower. And apparently not. Apparently it just stopped the stream. So weird, annoying. Let me reiterate the last 5 minutes, I guess. Basically boils down to this. By the way, let me know if I'm lagging. I can turn off the camera again if I am. Yeah, the Facebook page has been blowing up. Put out a ton of content on that. All these little quotes and shareable things, both Cowboys and Mavericks. It's easier for Cowboys a little bit because you got one game a week to work toward. Coming in perfect now. Go figure. All right. Well, yeah, basically what I was trying to say in the 5 minutes that got clipped off from the end of last stream, everything that we're trying to do regarding Dallas prospect, I have a million ideas, I think was the last thing I was saying. A million ideas. It's just time that is my enemy. And I want to grow this thing. Like, you notice, for instance, and I'm shifted slightly off center now. You've probably noticed in my Twitter handle, DDP_journalist. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm actually trying to make a career shift into something I'm passionate about. I don't just want to talk Mavericks and Cowboys, talk sports in general. I want to shift that into my career ultimately. And this is a means for me to kind of do something I'm passionate about, grow my brand, and basically just learn the ins and outs as far as developing my own voice, both in terms of video, live streams like this, and even the articles I do for Dallas Sports Fanatic and the DallasProspect.com. same thing. I'm just trying to develop my voice, and I'm trying to put together a lot of really great content for you guys because I feel like I have a lot of cool creative ideas that I can bring to the table that I honestly, I don't mean to say this in any kind of arrogant or cocky way at all. I know that I have ideas for content that will be really unique and successful. That stuff that no one's doing in this kind of platform and discussion. And I don't mean platform like YouTube. I mean like this particular subject matter and everything like that. And these are ideas that I'm working on, but you know, there are different ways to support Dallas Prospect. The obvious and easiest ones are like the videos, share the content, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all of that. Share the videos on Facebook, tweet about us, Instagram. I'm not partial to any particular one, but we just need to grow this brand because the more we do, we'll have the ability to come out and do more of these watch parties and live events, whether it's Mexi-Go, whether it's something like Pluckers or Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever. We can come out to these events. We can have a really good time, you know. We can make a lot of stuff happen. And I want to hang out with you guys. I want to get to know you guys. Like, that's the biggest thing. And I say guys all encompassing, right? Like, even for the ladies that might be in the house. Like, if you like what we do, cool. Like, all of you, guys, girls, whatever, I want to meet you guys. I want to get to know you. I want this to feel like an open discussion and communication. If you have thoughts, if you have comments, feel free to hit them in the comment box or in the live feed in the chat over here to my left. My left? Yes, my left. I had to think about that because I'm looking at the reverse. But by all means, do that. Like, if we can do this, if we can form this community and build this thing up, I think the sky really is the limit for something like Dallas Prospect, because I want to build independent media in this case. Independent sports entertainment media is kind of how I view it, because I even have ideas outside of sports, like pop culture side with film reviews and analysis and things like that. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that I want to do, and just time is the enemy. Anything you can do, Mavs Talk, you get massive eyes. Yeah. Mavs Talk is definitely the big draw for this channel, and I love that, and I recognize that, absolutely. And I think the difficulty there is just always having enough to kind of talk about. Like, sometimes you don't get a lot of storyline change, if you will, over the course of one game. But yes, Mavericks content is absolutely, if I had to make a totem pole of the content, like a hierarchy, Mavericks would be at the top because that's where the demand is. So I'm going to roll with that. By the way, if you guys haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I heard someone do it earlier, and I don't think the animation came up because, well, YouTube hated me. Let me see here. There we go. Moving everything back. Let's see. So, if you want, ring that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. But we got to grow this, right? Like, if you like what we do, if you believe in what we're trying to do, we are currently in that really small channel trying to step to that next step, because we have enough following that we do qualify for ad revenue, for instance, but it's not a whole lot of ad revenue. I think, I don't want to get into specifics on that, but it's really not a whole lot at all. So any support you guys have, even if it's something as simple as liking the video, sharing the content, telling your friends about it, it really does help, because organic growth is crucial to our success. So if you guys like it, I'm going to put out more content. We'll do more of these watch parties in the future if we can keep drawing you guys out here, and you guys turn out and support us. We'll do that. I'll also try and sprinkle in some of these live game commentaries throughout the season as I'm able. Those are tough to do, especially on solo, as I've found out in the past a couple times. But I will do my best to give you guys that content. If you want it, if you'll turn out for it and watch it, I'm absolutely there. I will give you guys literally everything that I am physically capable of giving you guys to grow this thing, because I believe in you. And yeah, there you go. What up, Tam? I believe in you guys, and I mean, it seems like you guys at least somewhat believe in me, which is awesome. That's an incredible thing, because that is not something that I would have done so much myself in the past. So let's see. I'm just far away, work, etc. But trust, still living in Dallas. Yeah, no, I absolutely understand. And obviously, thanks, Kent. There's obviously going to be some of you, especially if you're watching in like Europe or Slovenia, something like that, where it's not going to be feasible for you guys to turn out. But you know, there's always support you can show. Hitting the like button, something that simple, still helps. It goes a long, long way in helping us grow this. So I don't want to keep rambling on. I came back for like another 8 minutes because YouTube is stupid and literally cut off my stream 5 minutes after I stopped talking, but apparently it hadn't caught up yet, and so it just ended my stream when I was mid-sentence. Go figure. But I'm going to roll now. I'm going to wrap up this stream. But just hang tight, guys. I will be back for another edition of Mavs Fast Break Sunday, and I believe I will have my co-host, Innie and Duca, on hand with me. So we're going to do this thing. We're going to have a good time. But until next time, guys, remember, every legend was once a prospect. Salute. Play, outro, play! Oh, God!